आज का टॉपिक लेवल्स ऑफ ऑब्जेक्टिव्स के हवाले से है। एज वी नो, जैसे कि हम जानते हैं, टैक्सोनॉमी ऑफ एजुकेशनल ऑब्जेक्टिव्स is intended to provide for classification of objectives of our educational system. It helps in discussion of curricular and evaluation problems with greater precision. When developing instructional objectives, providing instruction and evaluating student performance, it is important to keep in mind that there are different levels or outcomes of learning. Distinguishing among different levels and outcomes of learning is important. In मुख्तलिफ levels और outcomes जो learning की हैं उनके दरमियान फ़र्क को समझना भी ज़रूरी है। If teachers are unaware of different levels of learning, अगर टीचर्स को मुख्तलिफ लेवल जो हैं लर्निंग के उनका पता ही नहीं है, they are likely to focus on one level to detriment of the others. वो एक ही लेवल पे फोकस रखेंगे, अपनी तवज्जो रखेंगे, दूसरे levels पे तवज्जो नहीं। For example, a teacher may teach a vast amount of factual information but never get round to teaching student to apply and synthesize this information. मिसाल के तौर पर एक टीचर जो है वो फैक्चुअल इंफॉर्मेशन तो पढ़ा सकता है, लेकिन वो अपने स्टूडेंट को उसको अप्लाई करने में और सिंथेसाइज कर इंफॉर्मेशन को सिंथेसाइज करने में नहीं उसको अप्लाई नहीं करवा सकता और इन इंफॉर्मेशंस को। और ए टीचर में टीच हायर लेवल थिंकिंग स्किल्स, या फिर एक टीचर जो है हायर लेवल थिंकिंग स्किल्स जो है वो पढ़ाता है without realizing that these skills require the prior learning of basic skills that must be integrated into these higher order skills. एक टीचर जो है वो हायर ऑर्डर स्किल्स जो है वो पढ़ा रहा है, लेकिन स्टूडेंट्स जिसके लिए स्टूडेंट्स को लोअर ऑर्डर स्किल्स की ज़रूरत थी जो कि उन्होंने नहीं पढ़े। इन एडिशन इसके साथ साथ इट इज़ नॉट अनयूजुअल टू सी ए टीचर हु वांट्स हर स्टूडेंट्स टू लर्न हायर ऑर्डर थिंकिंग स्किल्स गिव एग्जामिनेशंस दैट रिक्वायर ओनली लोअर लेवल स्किल्स। अंडर such circumstances, इन हालात में the students are likely to put their efforts into the lower order skills. Skills at different levels must be taught and tested in different ways, and therefore it is important for teachers and other instructional designers to take into account the different levels and outcomes of instruction. Taxonomy of educational objectives. The term taxonomy is borrowed from biology and its meaning is classification. In education, it is used for classifying educational objectives and their interrelation. Bloom's 1956 Taxonomy of educational objectives is the most renowned description of levels of cognitive performance. The levels of the taxonomy and examples of activities at each level are given below. The levels of this taxonomy are considered to be hierarchical, that is, learner must master lower level objective first before they can build on them to reach the higher level objectives. Under the taxonomy, the specific objectives are classified into following three domains: cognitive domains objectives, affective domain objectives, psychomotor domain objectives. Cognitive domain knowledge, remembering previous learned material. Example, state the formula for the area of a circle. Comprehension, grasping the meaning of the material. Example, given the mathematical formula for the area of the circle, paraphrase it using your own word. Application, using knowledge in concrete situation. Example, compute the area of actual circles. Analysis, break down the material into its constituent parts. Example, given a math word problem, determine the strategies that would be necessary to solve it. Cognitive domain, synthesis, putting parts together to form a new whole. Example, apply and integrate several different strategies to solve a mathematical problem. Evaluation, value judgment of a product for a given purpose by using definite criteria. Example, when you have finished solving a problem or when a pair has done so, determine the degree to which that problem was solved as efficiently as possible. Affective domain, receiving awareness, willingness to receive selected attention. Example, the pupils can listen, read story in the book, truth is evergreen. Responding, feeling, responses, feeling of satisfaction. Example, the pupil can feel pleasure to speak truth. Valuing, acceptance, preference, commitment. Example, the pupils can decide to speak truth in specific condition. Organizing, conceptualization of values, organization of a value system. Example, the pupils can relate truth with reward in the life hereinafter. Characterization reflects a generalized set of values, a philosophy of life. Example, the pupils can adopt truth as habit. Story of Abdul Qadir Jilani. Psychomotor domain, reflex movement, muscle movement. Example, the student can imitate in given situation. Fundamental movement, walking, running, jumping, pushing, pulling, manipulating. Example, the students can use their five senses in a given situation. Perceptual ability, kinesthetic, visual, authority, tactical, coordination. Example, student can coordinate their five senses in any situation. Physical ability, endurance, strength, flexibility, agility. Example, the student can use and coordinate their sense to tackle a novel situation. Skilled movements, games, sports, dance, the art. Example, the student can use their ability to successfully accomplish the task. Psychomotor domain, non-discursive communication, posture, gestures, facial expressions, creative movement. Example, the student can create or invent new things. Students जो हैं वो नई चीज़ें बना सकते हैं या दरियाफ्त कर सकते हैं. Taxonomy of educational objectives. The main value of taxonomy is twofold. Number one, it can stimulate the teachers to help students acquire skills at all of these various levels, laying the proper foundation for higher level by first assuring mastery of lower level objectives. And two, it provides a basis for developing measurement strategies to assess student performance at all these levels of learning. This taxonomy may assist the teacher in clarifying his educational objectives and modifying his teaching practices so that relevant desired learning outcomes of learning are identified and